So, hello, hello, hello. How are you today? My name is Julia Okujax of Julia Jax Consulting, and this is Unplugged. This is the very last session of our well made in Nigeria series. Only of the very well made in Nigeria series. We have three more to go before the year ends. But for this mini series, wow, it's been 8 Thursdays, eight amazing guests, and over 8 hours of streaming and listening time. Wow. And we've had at least 800 nuggets. I'm not even exaggerating, of wisdom, learning, things that you'll not learn in B school, you know, that we've gleaned and learned from these stars, superstars. I mean, don't take our word for it. Go check out our YouTube channel on at Julia Jax Consulting and see for yourself and learn, you know. So we've had a real five-star bouquet of guests. I mean, we feel so special. They've been articulate, they're passionate, they are diverse, and they're all focused on bringing their A game, their brilliance to bear on everything they're doing and make a difference in Nigeria. So, to all our eight guests who have featured on Very Well Made in Nigeria, I applaud you all. I applaud you. I thank you very much for being who you are and as wonderful as you are. And I also appreciate all our online guests, all members of the audience who week after week have joined us and have amplified the energy and engagement on Unplugged Live. Even when we have glitches on the networks, they say and they keep us very entertained and engaged. You guys are simply the best. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome to Unplugged. Thank you for joining us. So today's guest, she had joined us in March this year during our International Women's Month celebration. And usually we don't bring back people the same year. But hey, this is Unplugged. All bets are off and we can rewrite the rules. So we're bringing back a nationally and a continentally and globally acclaimed nutritionist. She's also a dietitian. She's a past manager and director of food brands in a Nigerian and West African food market for one of the largest global food conglomerates. She's a director of several boards. She is a food blogger. Hmm. She's a podcaster. She's an incredible marketer and brand builder. She's a chef per excellence. I'd love to move into her home, actually, and stay in her kitchen. She is a legend and she is an author. You may call her 1Q Food Platter, but I love to call her my friend, Ikwoma. Welcome again to Unplugged, Mrs. Iquo Ukoh.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me add you on Instagram.
Nige.
Has
Yes,
it come through?
we're
Okay,
here.
fantastic.
We're
Fantastic.
live.
We're live. Yay. Fantastic. There are a lot, I was given my producers gave me this long thing to read about Mrs. Ikolko, but I decided to just go unplugged. I went rogue on them today. I'm sure they're going to give me a few words later, but I went rogue on them today because I wanted this to be a very organic introduction. I had cause to reflect on the eight guests we've had, and all of them have had something really special about them, really special. And today, the major focus we are going to have is this. If you haven't bought this book yet, she didn't. She's not paying me for selling it, but you see, I will sell it with all my whole chest. with everything I have. If you have not bought Memories on the Platter, here, Facebook guys, here you go. IG guys, Memories on the Platter by first book by Iquo Ukoh. It's subtitled My Journey with Nigerian Food. If you think it's a recipe book, just hang on. You're gonna hear more. You're really gonna hear more. Welcome to everyone who's joining us on IG, and welcome to everybody in KTSN and Kokomi. And welcome, 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 welcome to everybody. So, Ikoma, congratulations on publishing your first book, Memories on a Platter. So, I have a couple of questions on the book. What motivated you to write this book?
Julia, I think it started when my mother came to stay with me, I think 2 years before she passed. And I asked her to share with me some recipes, and I saw that she could not remember some of those recipes. And that got me thinking, and I said to myself, I mean, God granting me long years like her, I might just get to a point where I might also not remember some of these dishes my mom had passed on to me. So I said, yes, I mean, it's about time now that I document some of, those recipes. Besides, I've always had this passion about Nigerian foods generally, and the fact that I'm operating on a platform that is not mine called social media. And I tell myself every day that someday, I mean, the owners of this platform might just change the name of the game. And that brings to an end all that I have accumulated on this platform. So let's have an alternative, and, put all of this information in a book that we can, handle. I think you need to get me back on Instagram. I think I'm off. I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of frozen, although you're looking very beautiful in that frozen state. Could you ask to join? Could you ask to rejoin? Then I can just add you.
Oh dear, I'm struggling to hear you, Julia.
Okay. Could you ask to join?
Okay, I'm hearing you now.
Okay.
How do I ask to join? How do I ask to join? No, I don't know how to ask to join.
Okay. Okay. Let me go for it again. Let me do it again.
Okay. I'm there, but it's just that I'm not.
Because it still shows you as part of my broadcast. Yes. So maybe you should leave, and then I just leave IG and then come back. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I've left.
Okay. Let me invite you back.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm waiting.
I've invited you, but you haven't come. I can't.
I've not seen my invite.
Okay. I'm going to just ask the person who is good at this. Who's good at this? Because your name should show, but it's not showing. There you sit. Come. But let's just keep talking on.
Okay, request to join. I've sent.
Yes,
request to join.
Okay.
Request to join.
Okay, got it.
I've requested to join.
Okay, I've accepted.
Yeah. Okay, I've connected now.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
I'm there, but I don't know if you're not showing as well. Oh my God, today.
Okay, guys, you know what? Because we want everybody on Instagram to be part of this because we have, I tell you, we have one copy of this left. One copy, just one copy to give to everybody. I want to give you a fair chance. So why don't you do this for us? Give us 1 minute. We go off Instagram and we come back. Okay, please. Facebook guys, please just be patient with us and give us a minute. We'll both go off and then we'll come back in. Please do not go away. This promises to be really good. So we'll be right back. Okay. So coming back in again. Okay.
We are waiting.
So I am inviting you again.
I
Okay.
can't even see. You're not even live yet. Okay, you're live now. Okay.
Yeah. I've invited you now.
Okay. I've joined.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just saying request to join. So I should send requests, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. I've done that now. So, okay, somebody said I should reduce the volume. Okay. Are we okay to go?
I haven't seen you on IG yet, but I have accepted your request. Sometimes
I've requested.
Okay. Well, meanwhile, guys, thank you for coming back. I've accepted like 3 times. I don't know what's going on. It says you're unable to join, but I'm good. No, you're of course you're
But
able to join.
it's showing that I've requested.
Yes, yes, and I'm inviting you again. So I've invited you again. Yes.
Accept. It's connecting now.
There we are. There we are.
Ooh, finally.
Okay, finally. Yes, finally. You know, and thank you everybody for coming back and for everybody on
Yes.
Facebook. Thank you. So I was telling you that we've had just in case you missed my really exciting intro. Ikoma, as I like to call her, she's a legend. I don't need to tell you. She's not a local legend. She's not a national legend. She's an intercontinental and global legend when it comes to food and nutrition. And now she's written this amazing memoir and recipe book and part autobiography. And if you haven't bought it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe you're waiting for a free copy, which we will give one today. So welcome to everybody. But there is a catch to it. But when we get halfway through, we'll tell you what the catch is. So before the networks bounced us off, we were talking about what motivated Ikoma to write this book, Memories on a Platter.
Okay, should I go through that again now?
Yes, please. I think that's when we started having our glitches. Yes.
Yes. So, like I said, I think 2 years or so before I would always want to tap into her wealth of knowledge about Nigerian cuisine. And so I asked her this particular dish. That dish is made from ogbono seed, and it's usually ground, roasted, and made into a cake. I remember eating it anytime we went to visit my grandmother in the village. Of course, my mother said she could not remember. I mean, in her late 80s, it was obvious that memory was failing. And so I told myself, I said, Lord, look, if you grant me the number of years you've granted my mom, could it be that I might not remember one or two things? So it's about time I start to document some of these recipes. And secondly, the other motivation for me was, we play a lot on digital, on people's platform, social media, and we have so much information there. And I told myself as well that, look, one of these fine days, the owners of the platform might just say, we're changing the name of the game. and there would go all that we have accumulated on this platform. So I said, no, look, my passion for keeping this information, just led me to start writing something. And that was how the book started.
Thank you so much. I mean, there's a book by Alice Walker which says "In Search of Our Mother's Gardens." That's the title. And as you were talking, it reminded me of that. There's so much wealth from our parents that gets lost in transmission. And thank you for talking to Ma at the time and documenting this. And I think this is also a lesson for all of us who put out a lot of content on social media, that it gets to a time when you have to own your content. You have to really own it. So why this title? Why the title Memories on a Platter? Okay, I think we have a little glitch again. So just trying to find out Memories on a Platter. Okay. Iquo, can you hear me? Oh, I think she bumped off. She got bumped off again. She got bumped off again, and I'm gonna bring her back. Have no fear.
Juliet, I have completely lost you. Can't hear anything anymore.
I've invited you again.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. You're back. You're back.
Ah. Oh wow.
You're back.
The network is
I'm
something
sorry.
else.
Yes. But I'll tell you, the people who love you are here and they refuse to go away. So, okay, wow. So that I have to bring it back on Facebook. This is such an adventure.
Hi.
This is such. Oh yeah, we're back now.
Whoa. We'll get
So
through
let
it.
me just ask you all the questions. Let me ask you, because my energy is high. I mean, I have big energy. This book excites me. I told her that after I told the former that when I finish my morning devotion, I pick up at random a page of this book and I travel through Nigeria. It's incredible. This has been my go-to since I got the book I think last week. Yes. So I wanted to know.
Yes.
Let me ask you the questions so you can answer. Why the title?
Okay.
What can we expect to learn? And what was the birthing process of this book like?
Okay, the title. Why this title? I had actually completely written this book. I was gearing up to go to the print, and I still did not have a book title. I must say that I had over 14 titles for this book. And nothing just seems to capture the essence of this book. And so one of those days, I phoned up my daughter in Canada and I said, Makamba, I'm stuck. Now, this is what I have in my head. Can you come up with a book title for me that captures the essence of this book? And that was how Memories on a Platter came.
Wow.
But looking back, you know, if you grew up in my generation, and I think, Julia, you did, when my mother cooked Iquo Ukoh, it was poured into what we call nine, you know, that enamel tray.
Yes.
And everybody, myself, my mom, and my siblings, would sit around that enamel tray to eat. For some reason, that experience has stuck with me. So yeah, memories on a platter in that tray where you're eating a pankuko and sucking the periwinkle. I mean, it's an unforgettable experience for me. Starting the book itself, of course, I mean, just woke up 2019 and decided to put a pen to paper, or should I say, put my finger to the key book, and that was how I started. I mean, of course, after going through almost 1/4 of writing this book, I lost the document because my laptop was stolen, and I had to start all over again.
Okay. Ikoma, you need to come back on. You need to come back on. Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yes.
I do. I do.
Okay, there you are.
Where am I coming back on now?
You're fine. You're here. Yeah.
I'm there.
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
If you say so.
Yes, you are.
I can't thank those that are hanging on, but guys, hang on. You're going to win. Somebody's about to win that book.
Yay! Let's book. Let's book. Please hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Yes. It's just different glitches for no good reason, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about the birthing process. How was that like?
Yes. So, like I said, you know, after that first disappointment, I went back to the drawing board. Fortunately, you know, I wrote the book, so of course, I still had a lot of what was in my head, and you know, I continued. And then, of course, you know, COVID came because I had started the photography because we went to Kano, Uyo, Enugu, Oron, did some work in Lagos as well. So COVID came and we had to put a stop to that for a bit. So after COVID resumed, by the way, and Kaduna as well. So those are the areas, the locations where myself and my photographers worked. But in the meantime, I was reading and all of that. And then the design process then started. Interesting, the story of me and my design guy. We started in Lagos. Then somewhere along the line, lucky guy, he got a job with Netflix and had to relocate to Netherlands. So can you imagine, started work in Lagos. There was a time he relocated to Ghana. We're working there. UK, we're working there. He ended up in Amsterdam, we're working there. Sometimes I'm in Canada, sometimes I'm in Nigeria. So, and of course, the lady that helped with the edits, we worked through COVID, she in Canada, me in Nigeria, and we set out time every week, sometimes twice a week, working 3 hours through, you know, to go through the process. I can't tell you about copywriters and what have you. I mean, but like I said, exciting journey all the way.
It really took a village. It took a local government area.
Yes, but I must say, talented Nigerians, Nigerians. And, you know, I mean, all the work about the book was done by Nigerians, of course, except for the printing, which, you know, I had to do outside of Nigeria.
Great, guys. Listen, you can send in your questions and comments. We have a comment from Mr. Chef who says, "I think I want to speak I love her and would like to do a session with her. Mr. Chef, okay, for now I'm her. I know Mr. Chef is my real body, you know. But for now you have to come through me. You have to come through me. She's my big sis, my Kwama, you know. Even though her sister is here, you know. So that's actually really exciting because as you were talking, especially about the memories of the tin tray and everything, metal tray, and I remember we used to do that. We used to do that with rice and stew, you know. And my mother would just put it in a big metal tray and put enough meat for everybody. And my sister, who unfortunately is not here right now, I'm not sure my brother would remember. He was the baby of the family, you know. And my sister would just take all the meat and run away and leave us with with the rice, you know. But that's really when you were talking about it, that memory came up, came up. I'd like to share something I read, a quotation by Guy Fieri, and he says, "Cooking is all about people. Food is perhaps the only universal thing that really has the power to bring everyone together. No matter what culture, everywhere around the world, people eat together." Now, your book reflects this. So I'm just wondering how much did this experience, how would I put it, influence who you are today? And how do you think the new family dynamics we have now in terms of distance? Okay. Because you've left again, but I'm bringing you back. No, no problem.
Julia, I can't, I'm trying to get your question.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm trying to get the question.
Did you hear the quotation by Guy Fieri?
Yeah, you talked about how the experience of, I guess, eating together with my siblings and my mom, how it has shaped my experience or something. I didn't get that.
Yeah, your experience, yeah, and
Yes.
what you put in this book, because this book is it's a very come together, let's eat. It's a very warm and embracing book, you know. So the question there is, a lot has changed in our family structure and dynamics because many of us, our families are in far-flung places. How can we, and we're busy, how can we still use food to keep this love going?
Okay, I don't know, we're off on Instagram again. For me, it's about being deliberate. It's about being deliberate. It's about sharing and family times and moments. For people who follow me on Instagram and sometimes watch my stories on Instagram, you'll notice that anytime I'm going out to eat with my husband or my children, I'll first start with making, a picture of our shoes, us sitting at table. I'll always take that picture, and then I put their family time. Yes, we are all busy. And yes, challenges of looking for coins, to have decent living might not allow us to have time to eat together all the time. To eat, we can, even on Sundays, make that special effort to lay out a table and sit at table, because I know that for many of us, our dining table is just a decoration in the house. It's just furniture in the house. We hardly use that dining table. We are all putting food on a tray and on our laps in front of television. Everybody is eating from there with phone in our hands. So I think it's something deliberate we have to do because there's so much that happens around that meal time, around the conversation, when we decide to look at each other, enjoy the food, talk about life. You know, there's so much that can happen at table. I mean, no wonder, you know, Jesus Christ did that as well. You know, he gathered his disciples on a table and ate with them. Guess he could have river or somewhere, but it was at table that he was able to pass information to his disciples. So for me, there's something about gathering to eat, and as much as we can, we should do that.
That's I think that's really important, and thank you for re-emphasizing it. Um, Families are getting distracted and broken and fractured. A lot of us have spent a lot of time spending our money, sending our children to good schools, great schools outside this country, and we don't want to lose that bond, you know. But
Absolutely, absolutely.
yes. So the other question I had was, but you've answered it, like the travels, how far and wide did you travel on the job? First of all, when you were working with a global food conglomerate, how far and wide did you travel on the job?
Oh, well, I mean, like I said in the book, of practically all the countries in West Africa, you know. I mean, the more I think about it, I said, Iquo, you must have done quite some travel there, from Mali to Burkina Faso, Abidjan, Togo, Benin, Ghana, of course, Cameroon. I think the place I didn't go to was actually Chad and possibly Sierra Leone and Gambia. But I did travel to most, you know, countries in West Africa. And of course, in my goodness, I mean, I was everywhere and I had to be everywhere. I think practically all the 36 states of Nigeria I had touched at one point or the other. And then, of course, when the book started, I then went back again to some of those locations. So the book has been actually a gathering of everything I have been able to do over years. I mean, the last 3 years is actually when I then sat down to document. But in terms of, you know, sitting with people from different tribes, that I had done over the years whilst working.
Okay. There are two pictures that really hits me. There are many pictures in the book, guys. This book, the photographer, I mean, it was worth him going to Netherlands and everywhere because the photographer he's a vibe. I tell you, he's a vibe. You know, there's this one of somebody wrinkling out the periwinkle. You know, when you get to see the book, I mean, I'm just looking at it, and guys, can you look at this? This is fresh light fish stew. I mean, can you see this? I mean, can you see this? Can you see this? Can you see this? Even online, it comes out strong. But the one that really got me, maybe because I'm a full waterside girl, is the one of the guy wrinkling out with his real, you know, gnarled fingers and all dusty and everything. But it was wrinkling out the periwinkle that we eat and we use, you know. And then there was this other one of somewhere in the north with somebody, I think he made about 4 pages or 5 pages of it, making masa. And masa is something that I just got to discover recently.
Yeah.
I never knew about masa. It took me going to Lagos to learn about
come
masa.
again with the question.
No, I just wanted to ask. Actually, maybe I was just I think I was just going to congratulate you on the quality of the pictures. Yes, that those two pictures told so many stories, told really great stories to me, and I was just wondering what kind of magic did you have to go through many pictures to select to say that's the one?
Look, I mean, I have tons and tons of pictures. You know, I ran the risk of writing a 1,000-page book. Honestly, if I decided to capture everything, including recipes, this is already a 360-page book. And there's so many Nigerian recipes. I felt so bad not including in this book. so many I still have that I couldn't include. So for the pictures, yes, I'm going to be selling some of those pictures. I'm sure there'll be people out there that would want those pictures. They were, I think the pictures captured the essence of Nigeria, and there are things that we could, I could sell to people, use it in your restaurant, in homes and whatever. But trust me, it was a hard decision to drop some pictures and to drop some recipes, because else the price point of the book would have been out of the reach of many people.
Well, guys, at the risk of sounding like a cracks record, this is not just your regular recipe book. Seriously, this is, like she said, it's a photo book. It's a book where you really feel the warmth and the love. Truly, you feel the warmth and the love that comes from somebody who genuinely loves food. Not just somebody who tells you this is good for you, but somebody who loves food and sees how we connect ourselves through food. And Ikoh, you traveled so 36 states of the Federation, I'm sure more than one iteration, and almost all of them. I know you travel a lot, even outside the job, you travel a lot. And from what you post on social media, when you travel out of the country, one of your first stops is somewhere to eat, you know. So have you had any aha or oh no experiences in your travels that you'd like to share?
You mean as far as food is concerned?
Yes, as far as food is concerned, yes.
Yeah. One of those times I was in Canada, and my son decided we should go to a place called Montreal. It's supposed to be the food destination of Canada. And we, get into this restaurant. It was in the evening, packed full. And my goodness, they brought this salad. Julia, I was blown. I'm not one that is overly impressed by cooking, people's cooking. But my goodness, I felt like standing up to go and hug the chef in the kitchen. I mean, of course, to this Nigerian before I cause a step, but yeah, in recent times, that's really stands out for me. Eating this beautiful salad. It was there's vegetables, but with a few chicken in it and several other things. For me, it was a bowl where I know somebody understood what flavor is, and the person
Mm.
just manipulated ingredients and bang, I had this salad. I've not eaten it anywhere else.
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned flavor profiles, and it's also heartwarming to see that somebody who is into food like you can have that kind of exciting experience. Flavor profiles. When I think about
You
flavor
have to come
profiles,
again with that question. You're breaking now.
oh, okay. I said I'm glad you talked about flavor profiles, and it's heartwarming to know that somebody with your kind of experience in this field can be wowed by somebody else's cooking. And I remember the flavor profile of my favorite dish, which is
Oh, the
afang,
internet
actually.
today. The,
Oh,
the
you
internet
can hear
is,
me? Oh,
I
wow.
don't know if you're still seeing me on IG, but
I can see you, although you've frozen. Okay, we need to get you back in. You know, somebody doesn't want you to hear this story, but we're gonna get you back in. We are
okay,
determined.
absolutely. Yes, I'm back. I've joined again.
Okay.
Okay, so let's hear the
Thank you,
question.
everyone. Okay, okay, all right. I thought somebody put a question in. Guys, let me just give you a quick um piece of information. You probably have to join us on Facebook, or because we're going to do a fastest fingers very, very soon. In like 5 minutes, we're going to do the fastest fingers, you know. So I was talking about that flavor profile that I love afang, and I can tell the difference when people cook afang and when people cook afang. You know, I've had afang that somebody put tomatoes in it, and as soon as I tasted it, I'm like, take this away. This is not afang. You know, and it's so important to know what the flavor profiles are. You know, very, very important. And is that something that we can get from your book? How to get the flavor right, or is that something that comes from the heart?
I was hearing something about flavor profile and afang, but I didn't get the rest. Just
Okay.
just summarize for me so I can quickly answer while the internet is okay now.
Okay, I said that I've had some afang where I could detect that somebody had put some tomato in it, and I'm like, oh no, this is not it, you know. And some other afang that people, that's my favorite food, soup. Actually, my all-time favorite food. Anyway, I can eat it every day, you know. And the question is, how do we get two chefs, three chefs cook the same thing using the same ingredients? How does one cook it in such a way that it blows your mind? The other one just cooks it and it's blah. Is that something you can learn, or is it something that just comes from your soul?
I think the first thing is time. You need time to cook. I know that we live in a microwave generation, and therefore you're thinking, can't spend 2 hours, cooking this. It has to come out quickly. Flavors develop when you allow time. And so it's the same thing with any food. Some dishes, yes, absolutely, you need to cook it fast. I mean, if you want to eat a medium or rare beef, then it has to be fast. But for some dishes, particularly our local dishes, you need time. Afang is a little bit more complex in the sense that depending on the variety of afang you have, the soup might just come out to look like River Niger and Benue. And there are some other varieties of afang that thickens. You just need a little with your water leaf, and the thing thickens, and your neighbors are perceiving the aroma of the afang. That's why we have things like afang oron, Cameroon afang, afang, Igbo afang. There are different varieties. So if you don't know, I mean, everybody says afang soup, afang soup. Some afang soups, when I see it, I say, my mother will be turning in the grave now, no, with this type of. But honestly, the quality of the ingredient matters. They might have the same ingredient, but is it the same quality? Secondly, have you allowed enough time for the flavors to blend together, and marry together so that you have the outcome that you're looking for? So, yeah. But again, some things also come with experience, trust me. If I take afang, for instance, is it dry season water leaf? Is it rainy season water leaf? Because also water leaf could be tricky. You're told put 1 cup of water leaf, but water leaf of dry season, 1 cup of water leaf in the dry season is different from 1 cup of water leaf in the rainy season.
Absolutely.
And these are the intricacies that come with experience. And so, by the time you're pouring in water and then water leaf has landed and your afang has jammed in there, and the next thing is that everything is now floating. Yeah, that's with experience, absolutely.
Yeah. And I must also say that when somebody cooks, I read this on social media, and I can also tell you, when somebody cooks for you and they are annoyed, I think we carry over our emotions into our food. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. We have a comment from Mr. Chef PH, says, I copied her Atama Abak recipe and I'm a pro now. Thank you for that comment. That's
good. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what all of this is all about. You know that people, we start to share recipes and we learn from each other. I'm learning all the time as well.
I have to learn how to make masa. I don't even want to eat bread anymore. Sorry, bread makers. I need to learn how to make masa. Masa is incredible,
It
incredible.
is, it is,
Yes.
it is.
And we have a comment from Essien. Essien says, very many congratulations on your book, Iquo. Can we get your book on Amazon?
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. I mean, just go to my Instagram page, click on the bio there. It will lead you to, different locations where you can buy. It's on Amazon. But if you're in Nigeria, for goodness sake, buy from the local bookstores, because the
He's
quality
abroad.
from Amazon
He's
is
abroad.
slightly different. Oh,
He's,
okay.
yeah, he's abroad.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
buy from Amazon, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. But he's also my brother. So he may be the one that wins today. Okay. So
Who
I don't know how
knows?
we're going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do this. Maybe we should finish all the questions, then we do this, This is a
Okay.
question that came from Oye, and she said, what do you think about the easy techniques, shortcuts in meal preparations that are suddenly rampant? I think you spoke to that, but she's also a millennial, so she wants to know.
Yes, I mean, look, lifestyles has changed. I mean, for me, when my mom would cook abak atama, it was a Saturday event. I mean, an event most of us children dreaded, because it's on that same day you cut the mfi. Is that same day you
Yes.
pound the palm fruit? Is that same? Now, guess what? For somebody like me, I have learned to dress my periwinkle, which is periwinkle. I've learned to dress it, wash it, freeze it. I have learned to make my banga liquid, wash it, pound, cook, pound, and freeze the liquid. I've also learned to do so many things and prepare ahead. I know that when I say this, my daughter tells me that whatever it is, somebody is still doing something
True.
beforehand. It's not
True.
that, yes, and I do agree. But there are some shortcuts. Yeah, it would ultimately affect the outcome of the dish. Of course, it's still edible, but we talked about that depth of flavor and sometimes the texture. The fast route might not be it. And again, look at something like when the English or the Americans decide to do slow cooked beef. Sometimes it's,
Oh
and
wow.
when you
Yeah.
taste that slow cooked beef, it's a different thing from the beef you quickly cook. So yes, you can eat what you want to eat. You cook it in 30 minutes and eat. Somebody else takes 2 hours to cook the same thing. When you check it, the flavor is usually different. But absolutely, there are some things you can do quickly, or some other things you need to take some time to do. You can't
Mm-hmm.
hurry a pan cook, for instance. You can't.
Not
Try
at
as you
all.
may. You can't.
Not at all. Not at all. And she touched on the pleasure points of I have had the pleasure and the honor of eating a pankoko in Ikoma's house. It is an event. That's all I can say. If you don't like it, sorry. We're getting some real great comments here. First of all, my sister Jerry is trying to rewrite history, and I'm going to read it out. Jerry, I don't have shame. She says she joined just in time to hear yet another accusation about against her tiffing meat. Yes, Jerry, you did. I remember you running away with the meat. So we all learned to collect our meat and run away as well. And then we'd come back, we'd eat the meat first and then come back and eat the rice and stew. Yes, yes. There's somebody else who made a comment here. I'm trying to make sure we get. Okay, someone said that's a great reminder. Ogo Ibade. She says that's a great. If it's Ogo, forgive me. You know, I That's a great reminder. Have a Sunday spread. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we all need to do this. We all need to get together and show love, you know. And if people can't join us, we just take pictures and show them and say, you missed, oh, you know. Yes. Another question we
Mhm.
have. What would be your advice? Guys, don't go away. You know, we missed some time, you know, because of the glitches. What would be your advice to chefs who are looking up to you to be successful in the industry, in the food industry?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a chef. I never went to any culinary school. I'm just a self-taught cook, a home cook, by the way. But if you're looking to be a chef, of course, you can be a self-taught chef as well. But it's about consistency and being open to trying out new things. Open up your mind, see what's going on, understand the trend. I mean, if you're a chef, then of course, absolutely, you're in business, of cooking and providing food to people. So it's about understanding the trends, understanding what people want. But again, ask yourself, how can I differentiate myself? I mean, if everybody's cooking fried rice, how is your fried rice different from the other chef's fried rice? Because that, at the end of the day, is what would make the difference. So if all of us are going ahead cooking the same things, then you have not differentiated. I mean, I guess I'm putting on my marketing cap here.
Mhm.
So to survive in today's world, where everybody that can put a pot on the fire is a chef, if you spend some money and went to a culinary school, then look for how to differentiate yourself in that space.
Well, you heard it from her. You heard it from her. My work here is almost done, although I'm enjoying. I hope I'm going to eat my fang today. I ate a fang yesterday. So this is from a CN who lives abroad and usually gets his afang, I think, dry, so he has to rehydrate it. And he says, I construct my afang. I like the way he put it. I construct my afang in the slow cooker, leave it overnight.
For the flavors to develop.
I would like to eat that constructed afang. We have another question from sis of mine, Alero. Alero joins us from the US, and she says, is it necessary to cook the daylights out of vegetables? Where's the nutrients when all is said and done? Is it only for taste instead of health? Which one is more important?
Um, you know, yeah, if I can just take Alero's question, the rule is actually that you cook your vegetables for maximum of 5 minutes to get the most benefit from it. So when I see, hours of cooking of vegetable, well, I don't understand that. When I'm cooking a fang, for instance, having added my water leaf, I usually turn off the heat and add my afang. Going to be cooked? I say yes, absolutely. First, the heat of the pot would cook your afang. And besides, for most of us, we do bulk cooking. We cook and store in the freezer only to reheat. So why complete that 5 minutes, in the cooking, unless of course you're going to cook and eat all at once. But if not, it's best to, cook these things for like 2-3 minutes since you're going to freeze and reheat again. So I do agree with her that sometimes some of us do overcook the vegetables.
I remember my mom telling me, if you're not going to eat it now, she used to say, "Nah, man, you woke. That is half done,
Mm-hmm.
and leave it alone."
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to take it off the fire. I like to take my food off the fire, and then, guys, I'm not even one quarter as good as Ikoma, but Ikoma.
You
My
try,
last
you
question
try.
to you before we give the gift away, and I just think because it's going to be we're going to take one person from Facebook, and we're going to take one person from Instagram. Hmm? But it's going to be fastest fingers. Ikoma, what fuels your passion for Nigeria and Nigerian foods? What fuels your passion?
Um, for me, it's about when I look at the kind of infrastructure we have in health. There are two things: infrastructure we have in health, and I see that there's so many things we can do to stay healthy and not end up in hospital. I see that food is critical. And for me, making right choices with food is a passion where I have seen that with that simple step, we can prevent quite a lot of diseases. And we can actually save a lot of money and prevent ourselves from going to the hospital. That's one. Number two, when I see French food, American food, Italian food, I say, where is Nigerian food? And as the food space continues to explode, for me, it is that Nigerian pride in ensuring that we continue to preserve our identity through food. We're getting into the generation of pasta and noodles and fries. And I'm not saying that I eat them from time to time, but I'm saying when all is said and done, what would we point to tomorrow to say, this is us? Thank God for music, thank God for fashion, and thank God for Nollywood. We're exporting quite a lot. And so for me, it is also our food needs to get out there. And for me, we are more than jollof rice. In any case, jollof rice is so contentious that, everybody's claiming this jollof rice. So we might as well look at some Afan, some master, and show the world what else we have besides jollof rice. So it's that preservation of our identities through food, and the health side, which is we can do so much, to protect ourselves and stay healthy just using, food and eating the right things.
Ikoma, I would like to thank you so much. There's so much wisdom embodied in you. And like I said at the intro, we've had 8 guests. We have more than 800 nuggets of wisdom. And if you want to know what we have learned in different fields, please go to our YouTube channel at Julia Jacks Consulting. We've talked to a whole variety of people, and we wanted to cap it up with this amazing woman called Iquo Ukoh. Yes, I am biased. I'm biased towards all my guests, but you know what? She's my sister. And my other sister, I have
Yes.
other sisters here and a brother, Yes. And I appreciate all of you for coming. And because we've had such a big turnout today, um, we were only going to give out one book, Memories on a Platter. We're only going to give out one book. But I just decided that we'll give out two. And this book is not cheap. Afterwards, you ask her the price. I'll not tell you. But you have to answer a question, and it's fastest fingers. So one person has to be looking at, I'll be looking at Facebook. Only you look at IG. Now, this is the question. Which soup recipe did One Q Food Platter post most recently on her IG page? I'll repeat it. Which food recipe? I know you all are running up to have IG page right now. Which food recipe, soup, not regular food, soup recipe, I have to spell it correctly, did One Q Food Platter post on her IG page, Instagram page most recently? I am looking at
Well, we said the right spelling.
the right spelling. Yes, the right spelling. Yes, but you have to write it exactly as she said it. Exactly as she said it. Yes, please, please, exactly as she said it. When
Instagram.
Instagram or
Instagram, don't
Instagram?
disappoint us. And Facebook too.
Facebook has gone to sleep. This might be going straight to Instagram. You know, you have to write it. Okay, we have a winner.
Somebody,
The lame quality note. Yay! Oh no,
do you
there is
know
sorry, it
what?
wasn't a quality note. Quality note. Yes, that was what it
Julia,
was.
can I tell you something? Can I tell you
Yes,
something? Lim
yes.
Lim is one of she's the photographer. She's a photographer in Kaduna, and she's the one that photographed the Yaji recipes for me.
Oh, well done, Lim. Thank you, well done. Well, I don't know. Should we give it to somebody? Said Ekpang Faye came in. No, it was not Ekpang. Definitely. Well,
No,
Geraldine said a fairy tale. I don't know. Do you want, because I feel
no,
like giving
it's
two.
Ukoh.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I've been overridden, and since we have one person, nobody on Facebook,
Facebook.
yeah, was able to go.
Okay.
Oh well, Ijoma Guba has now also written a corrected note. Should we take it on Facebook?
From Facebook?
Yes. Well, she spelled it right, so I think she probably.
Well, I
That's
guess
what.
let's encourage the Facebook guys. Yes, let's encourage the Facebook people. So I will contribute one book, and Julia, you contribute one book.
Oh, fantastic!
Is that fair?
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And this is somebody who is getting upset here. Sis Alera, not vex. It's on that basis. She says the conflict of interest. And Faye Kemi said, "Oh, it's her love. It's her love for Ekpang that Faye Kemi, I feel you. Yes, please go grab your copy. Ikoma, how much is this?
It's 55,000 naira.
That's how much we love you. We're going to give you a gift worth 55,000 naira minus delivery.
Yeah.
In Lagos. Lim is in Lagos.
No, she's in Kaduna.
Okay, so Julia Jack Consulting will take care of the delivery for both, and
okay,
one will come to Port Harcourt and one will go to Kaduna. So thank you, everybody. Okay, somebody asked a question. Said, please post the book cover on your page so we see it. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Although it's there, but we'll do that again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ikoma. Thank you so much.
This has been fun. It's been fun. Thank you.
It's been fun. Despite the glitches, thank you guys for hanging in there. And I think this is the reason why I believe all of you are very well made in Nigeria, because we've got that support ourselves through difficult times. And I'd like to declare Ikoma very well made in Nigeria. Thank you so much for flying the flag for us always. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you in America, and
thank you.
happy every day to us here. Thank you. It's a good day to give thanks.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, everybody. And
bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
You know I love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.